and welcome to an episode of the Single Guys podcast. And I am Jason.
And I'm Desmond.
And we are still the Single Guys. I don't know when we'll never change this.
Well, based on my 八字, it's not going to change anytime soon, right?
Yeah, well, based on my pattern, I'm supposed to have more options this year, but we'll see. But that's another topic.
Yeah, that's another topic, another day.
What is today's topic?
So today's topic is quite interesting. So we're talking about love languages.
Yes.
And we have a subtopic outside of that.
Yes.
Or within that, sorry.
Correct.
Which is sex outside of marriage.
Correct. Now, love language is, I don't know who came up with this quiz online. It's a quiz, you're supposed to answer a few questions.
Yeah.
Well, not a few questions, you have to answer quite a lot of questions.
Quite a lot of questions, yes.
It's a bit like the MBTI, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not as extensive as that.
Yeah. So it evaluates an individual based on certain criteria.
Yeah.
And they have 5 categories of criteria which people are classified under. So that is quality time, physical touch, acts of service, words of affirmation, and gifts.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is correct.
So I've done this test. You've done this test. What are our results? By the way, I did my test like in 2018, so it might have changed, but I don't think it would have changed much.
No, for me, I think it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
It still stands till this day.
Yeah, even my MBTI, I you're allowed to do the test like every 6 months or something. I've done mine for every 6 months, like the past 3 years.
Yep.
It's never changed.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine alters here and there.
Oh.
Like I think the main one is intact. So how you got like mine is like INFJ or something like that.
Okay.
So the IN part remains.
Okay.
But the last 2 letters change. I think I don't know.
I think I'm stuck in the same position in life, maybe. Because I am an ENFP. But why are we going into this?
Another topic.
There's another topic, MBTI. It's not we're not talking about MBTI, we're talking about the 5 love languages.
Yeah, and I think it matters, right? Because for a lot of people, like, they don't know this, right? It kind of like comes back, I think, like to that Chinese story where, let's say, like parents, if they love their kid, they always give like the drumstick, right? Or to show that they love the kid, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that the kid
understands it as love.
Yeah. Or sees it as, a parent's sacrifice or a parent's love towards, maybe the kid loves chicken wings.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And they might take it differently, right?
Yep.
So I think to a certain extent that knowing your love language is quite important.
This test was probably started by some Chinese guy.
Yeah, probably. It's like, I've always wanted the wings, why you give me them? Maybe.
Yeah. So okay,
results.
Let's go through the results, okay? I want to go through yours because yours is very obvious. Now, the scores are based out of 12.
Yep.
Yeah? So it's out of 12. For 2 categories, physical touch and quality time, you both got 10 for it.
10 out of 12.
10 out of 12, 10 out of 12. And then you've got acts of service, which is 5.
Yep.
Words of affirmation, which is 4. And gifts, which is 1. Now let me just go through the categories, okay? Physical touch is a person whose primary language is physical touch is not surprisingly very touchy. Hugs, pats on the back, and thoughtful touches on the arm, they can all be ways to show excitement, concern, care, and love. Physical presence and accessibility are crucial, while neglect or abuse can be unforgivable and destructive. Appropriate and timely touches communicate warmth, safety, and love to you. Now, the word that really stuck out for me is physical presence and accessibility.
Yep. Meaning,
well, you'll never have an LDR.
That is exactly correct. Because recently I've had a discussion with a friend, and the topic about LDR came up, and I think I was trying to make a big point is because it makes sense, right? Because physical touch is so important to me, which is why I feel like, especially in LDR, I can never do an LDR because I feel that at some point, couples need to commit to each other and be within that same or that close proximity with each other, right? To build a solid relationship. So, yeah, it does completely make sense.
Yep. So, physical touch and quality time for you. Tell me why this is. Oh wait, I only went through physical touch. I didn't even go through quality time.
Yes.
Sorry. I was just gonna ask you why is it so important,
Yeah,
but okay. In quality time, nothing says I love you like full, undivided attention.
Yeah.
Being there for this type of person is critical, but really being there with the TV off, the fork and knife down, and
correct.
all chores and tasks on standby makes you feel truly special and loved.
It speaks to me.
Distractions, postponed activities, or the failure to listen can be especially hurtful. Whether it's spending uninterrupted time talking with someone else or doing activities together, you deepen your connection with others through sharing time.
Yep.
10 out of 12. That's really high.
Yeah, correct. So it's the kind of thing that is also reflected in the way that I spend time with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
People that matters to me, my phone's gonna be away, right? I'm not to the extent where, I mean, people will have different views. Like, you know, there's people who will say that, you know, like you shouldn't even have your phone on the table and this and that. Maybe not to that extreme.
You mean like at the dinner table kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I do acknowledge the fact that, you know, let's say if you're having a conversation with someone or you're meeting up with someone, like, don't be on your phone, right? Like, you can go on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and whatever it is in your own free time, but when you're engaged with someone, have a conversation with that someone. Be in that moment, you know, that present.
I get what you're saying. This kind of reminds me of somebody who was in my car recently, where she and I we went someplace, and then I was sending her back, and then I had my phone in my car as usual, and as I was driving her back, I got a couple of messages, and I actually checked my messages, and then she looked at me, and she was like, "Can you not check your phone? I'm in the car." I'm like, "Oh, okay." She even said to me, "What's so important on the phone that you cannot reply later after you drop me off?" All right, I'm putting my phone away.
So I would say that can be handled a lot better.
Yeah.
But I do see where she's coming from. I think
Yeah.
she didn't articulate it well.
Correct.
What I
Yeah.
would have said is, hey, you know, would you mind maybe just letting the person know that, you know, you want uninterrupted time?
Yeah.
Right? Or your approach could have been like, hey, sorry, you know, I just need to let this person know that, you know, real quick that I'll get back to them. Yes.
I just, when she said that to me, I was like, whoa. What is so important on the phone that you cannot put it away and talk to me because I'm in the car?
Right.
Okay.
But that's what they're looking for, right?
Yeah.
That's what's important to
Quality
them.
time.
Correct.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's no way you can deny that.
I mean, as a comparison, okay, so as a comparison, quality time is actually my highest ranked, but it's not even as high as yours.
Yep.
My quality time is 8 out of 12, and that's the highest.
Yeah, your highest is yours goes on pretty well. It goes from a 87654.
Yeah, I'm pretty balanced.
It's
You're pretty,
pretty extreme.
yes, extreme in one direction. It's like 10, 10, 5, 4, and 1. So, yeah, even the quality time is important for me. I guess because I'm always a busy person, like when it comes to things like the phone, and also partly because I've been alone for so long, I've been single for so long, it does naturally come to me that when I have a message, I will reply.
Yeah.
I haven't had the chance to practice or have had practice where I'm going to give my undivided attention to a particular girl that's with me at that point in time. So I guess it's lack of match practice, but
Yeah, you look at it like that.
so there is a reason why that suddenly when when my phone has a message, I will look at it because it's just a natural instinct to me now.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So that's quality time. Your physical touch is 10, mine is 6, and that's not my second highest, it's my third highest.
Yeah.
So physical touch. Explain physical touch in your words, like why it's important to you compared to, well, I guess not being physical.
Correct. I just feel that I think the description that you read out earlier on was very spot on in the sense that the key word there being is timely.
Physical presence and accessibility.
Or you know, just in a very timely, that subtle thing, you know.
Okay.
It's not like what a lot of people would think, like, you know, physical touch, you jiggle back, you know, that kind of thing.
So
no.
appropriate and timely
Correct.
touches.
Because I think that like what it says, the description, it says that it relays a lot of warmth. A lot of, because I feel like, you know, that kind of level of kinship or whatever it is, it translates to a lot of things, right? Because there's only so much you can say.
Yeah.
But when you're there with that person, when you're physically holding that person, it's different, right? It's showing that you care without using words. So to me, it's like it's just like another language to show that you care lah. So yeah, naturally, maybe it's because of my upbringing. I have no idea. I would definitely think so.
That comes from a family that is doesn't show enough love.
Not physically, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, physical touch for me, it's my third rank. It's not. I don't say it's not important because I like the physical touch of being with someone.
Yeah.
Like I like holding hands. Like I like hugs. I love hugs. Hugs are something that I really really like to do, and especially hugging a girl from behind. I really like. I think
like it's a
that,
natural guy thing. Correct.
Yeah? And it's just one of those things that I feel like I'm protecting her.
Yes.
You know?
That's correct.
So, and even like holding her hands. So when it comes to holding hands in public, okay, PDA, public displays of affection.
Oh, that's another interesting one.
See, I like PDAs, like holding hands.
Yeah.
And I like showing, and I'm very proud. So I'm the kind of person that I'm very proud that I will tell the whole damn world that this girl is my girlfriend or my wife.
I'm the same with you.
Yeah. So for me, those are things which I put as important, but I guess not to your level.
I think mine is just pretty extreme.
I would not be against the idea of a long distance relationship. Of course, with a certain caveat.
Correct.
You know, I can't just go into a long distance relationship that starts out as a LDR and then becomes physical later. It has to start physical first.
Yeah, then go and keyword being, I don't know, this is for me, but if it's temporary, like just for a year, I'm fine with that.
Correct. So it has to have a physical base before it goes into an LDR, and then later goes back to a physical base. But I'm still not against the idea of dating someone first through the medium of the internet and all that stuff, and then meeting that person later on. So I'm able to do that, and in fact, there's one particular girl that I remember. We weren't online dating, but we were really like talking a lot, and we were FaceTiming. And you know, she's calling me baby and all this stuff, and then and she's based in Singapore.
Right.
But it got to a stage where she wanted us to be serious. Then I told her, I said, I can be serious, but I first need to meet you. You know, because I'm not. It's not like I don't want to tell the world I'm dating you. It's just a bit weird because people will start asking me, hey, since when your status became in a relationship? Who is this girl? I don't know. I never met her.
This girl,
yeah. So it was a bit awkward, and she didn't understand that, and she got really angry, and then she blocked me.
Dear. Oh wow. Oh, okay. Well, that's your drama right there. So.
Yep, drama. But so I can start off on the LDR first. It's not an issue for me.
Right.
But it has to go physical later on. I guess there's a certain time frame which I will allow to go without physical.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is
okay.
Actually,
no. What's more interesting is your second highest, which is actually words of affirmation.
Yeah, words of affirmation. Okay, let's go through the description. Oh, by the way, the website. If you guys want to do this, it's the number 5, as in the number 5, lovelanguages.com. Yeah. So the words of affirmation. Actions don't always speak louder than words. If this is your love language, unsolicited compliments mean the world to you. Hearing the words I love you are important. Hearing the reasons behind that love sends your spirit skyward. Insults can leave you shattered and are not easily forgotten. You thrive on hearing kind and encouraging words that build you up. Okay, I think I know why I'm like this. Where words of affirmation. Okay, where's words of affirmation for you? It is your second lowest.
That's correct.
Yeah, 4 out of 12. Well, it's 7 out of 12 for me, and it's my second highest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think because of the person that I am, okay, I'm on the radio. I use words to communicate.
Right.
Okay, and we're doing a podcast. We're all using words and an audio interface.
Yep.
So I've always been this person, and you've known me. I'm always quite. I'm always able to articulate my words.
Yeah, that's correct.
The things which I say, right, even though some people try to say those same things, like they say it with a certain emotion or they say it with some anger, that
Correct.
the message does not go across the way it should.
Yes. Correct.
I've always been able to break it down and then actually say those same things without getting either side emotional.
Yeah.
So I've always been a wordy kind of person. And I think that is why words of affirmation is very important to me.
Right.
Yeah. So I like,
Interesting.
and also as a child, well, maybe not a child, maybe as a teenage kid, I don't hear affirmative words often enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I've had a lot of physical touches as a kid growing up.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah.
So my parents would kiss me, my sisters would hug me. So we show physical touch, and I grew up getting used to it, but
Right.
nobody said anything.
I see.
And so I crave that.
Yep. Yeah. No, it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
And it actually fits perfectly why, because me growing up, so a lot of my youth and my younger adulthood was spent inside a church, right? So, and these kind of things are very common in a church setting.
You
In the
could
sense
have
that they
words.
always encourage you, they say you're a champion,
Yeah.
you can do this, and so those things came very common to me. So which is probably why it's never one of those things that I feel like
You
I
need
crave,
it.
because I had a
Yeah.
lot of it.
Correct.
So it makes complete sense.
Yeah. And also, as a child growing up, as a young adult, I was always very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I would compete in things like general quiz. I would compete in I've competed in singing competitions. Surprise, surprise. I've competed in singing competitions where even though I know I'm not going to win, I like to hear that I've done well, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I like all these things because I never used to get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I knew I was never gonna win number one. I just want to not finish last.
Yeah. Ultimately, you've done very well.
Yeah.
Things like that. Yeah.
And also even in school, like in terms of like your positions and all that stuff, I like it when people praise me, like, you're very
Correct.
smart boy and all that stuff.
Right.
And that is why when people comment about my weight loss, I love that shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, hell yeah, man.
That fueled you.
Tell me more. I'm listening. Tell me more. Is there anything else you want to say? I'm all ears. How many kilos? You want to know how many kilos I lost? 11 kilos. So
Brilliant.
So I like to hear this because I didn't used to have it.
Yeah. Which makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Makes complete sense.
But actually, before we go into the rest of it, I want to talk about our subtopic because it's related
Oh yes.
to
Especially
physical
the
touch.
physical touch department.
Yes.
Alright.
Now it started out like this. Recently, over the Christmas period, I met up. Obviously, during holidays, you meet up with people you don't usually see often.
Mm-hmm. True.
Okay. And during the Christmas period, I met up with a couple, a friend. Two friends lah. They are a couple. They've been married 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the wife was talking to me, young couple, and I was just commenting, you guys have been married so long, you don't have any kids yet, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Obviously, this was over alcohol.
Right.
And then she blurted out, to my surprise, that they've not been having sex.
Correct.
And I'm like, what? Obviously, I'm pretty sure that alcohol has something to do with it.
People are more willing to share.
Correct. But I think she was frustrated, both mentally and probably sexually as well.
Correct. And to be honest, I'm not quite surprised because I've heard a lot of stories, like among friends and things like that, or people that I've known. Even people who've known for like dating each other for a really long time.
Yeah.
You know, they're just not engaged in
They're
this type of
not
physical
rolling in
intimacy.
the sheets.
Yeah.
So I asked her, I said, what's the issue? Is it like one of you don't feel it or what? And what she told me was the husband, he finds it hard to get turned on. And this is a husband and wife, okay? Both of them they are bloody good looking people, okay?
Right. Yeah.
Very, very good looking people, and they have good, like their life is set, you know?
Yeah.
They don't have to worry.
No struggles.
No
No
struggles.
financial struggles.
Nope. Nope. So it was very surprising to hear that this was an issue. I guess from the outside, people will look at them and they'll be like, "Oh, it's a perfect couple."
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure
Yeah.
they would get that a lot, right?
Yeah.
Because people will always say, "Oh, you two are, you two look great, you know,
Yeah.
you
You
look
two
great
are
together."
good looking. You two have a good career. You both got money.
Correct.
Everything's perfect. You got a nice big house. You know, yeah. It's just weird.
Correct.
And so how so how does it happen that you can have everything else set but not have the rolling in the sheets?
Correct. I don't know.
I'm very curious to know what their love language is like, actually.
Yes. But from the sound of it, right? I mean, this is just an outsider's, or my opinion on it. It does sound like she's craving for it,
Maybe.
right? Or she's looking for it,
Yeah.
right? Because if not, then
I guess she wouldn't complain, right?
correct.
Yeah.
Right. It wouldn't be even a point for her to complain if she didn't care about it.
Yeah.
But I think to a certain level, like people should engage it or crave it. I don't know. To me, it's a very important. Obviously, because as
Physical
well,
touch is
physical
very
touch
high
is
for
very
you.
high for me.
Yeah. And
Correct.
even though physical touch is in the middle for me, I can't imagine being in a relationship where I can't have sex.
Correct. And
Okay,
to
here's
me, it's also the ultimate form of intimacy.
yeah.
Right? You don't just simply do it with anybody. Like you can hug anybody.
Yeah,
You
hug
can
is one
touch
thing.
somebody.
Yeah.
But you don't. I mean, you can, but you don't generally have sex with everybody.
Correct. Okay, here's the thing. Is it okay to have sex outside of marriage?
Okay. So, my general stance is, although the Christians will not like me for saying this, but it's yes. I think it's okay to have sex outside of marriage.
Why?
For obvious reasons. Obvious to me, probably. Because I feel that the kind of flow or the kind
Mhm.
of lifestyle that you have when you're dating as opposed to when you're married
Yeah.
is completely different.
Yeah,
Right?
of
So
course.
I feel that your bedroom chemistry is what I would call it, is very important. Right? How you roll in the sheets, right? I feel
Mhm.
it's very important because I feel that that keeps things exciting between husband and wife, even if you have kids, whatever it is.
Not a little drama. That's my excitement.
I look for excitement elsewhere. But I just feel that it's what keeps couples together, I would feel like.
But the thing is, right? So you've got like this case where the couple is together. They are together, but they're not rolling in the sheets. They're not having
Correct.
sex.
Which is why I feel like it's a very big tell, right? If you're not
Mm.
rolling in the sheets, then obviously you're not that into each other anymore. So
Maybe.
there's an indication of a problem.
But they look fine.
On the outside, everything looks fine on the outside.
I guess. Yeah.
So yeah, which is why I feel that especially when it comes to finding a significant other. This is prior to marriage, by the way. When you're finding a significant other, how you roll, between, under the sheets with each other. I think it's a very important element to it, which a lot of people would not have explored
Okay.
or would not even consider.
Okay.
Only after that they get married and then they're like,
And then they realize, sexually they don't match.
right, because people have very different energies, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's personalities, whatever it is, and guess what? People's energy in the bedroom is very different as well,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I agree. Sexually, you have to match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if one's really like whether the guy or the girl has a very high libido and the other significant other has the complete opposite, it's gonna be very hard.
Yeah. Actually, I have this friend, right? So he had a fuck buddy,
Mm-hmm.
which was a married woman. Okay, yeah. Married woman has a kid,
Right.
but my friend is single.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's married now, but at the time he was single. He obviously they rolled in the sheets. The married woman was not having sex with her husband. She was not getting any from the husband. The husband was having an affair. Very messy.
It is.
Yeah. But it's not uncommon. It's actually pretty common here.
Yep.
And the married woman obviously got her fix from my friend. Got pregnant.
Oh dear.
Obviously, with the husband and wife, they're like, I know it's not my baby.
Yes. Yeah.
Husband doesn't really care because he's like, I'm getting my fix elsewhere. So obviously, eventually she went for an abortion, and this is Muslim couple, okay?
Yeah. Oh. Yes.
So it was like it was. I don't know how to say. They were clearly having sex. Both of them, husband and wife, was having sex outside of marriage.
Yep.
And it seemed okay for them.
Yeah.
To me, I'll be honest. Actually, I think I'm the opposite. I don't think I can handle it.
No, same.
I think because I don't think it's okay to have sex outside of marriage if you are still having sex with each other. So my condition is that if you're not having sex with each other anymore, there's no more bedroom chemistry and all that, then I guess it's okay for you to have sex outside of marriage. But if you're still having sex within your marriage, then you need to fix it. Then it's not right for you to go find sex outside.
Correct. And a lot of people would probably say this as well, is, if you're not finding that, as a husband and wife, then might as well you just get a divorce, separate cleanly.
But why? Because the rest of it is fine.
True.
It's like, because when you're getting married, it's not just about the sex.
Yeah,
it's about your individual chemistry. You might have the same thoughts, you might have the same goals.
Correct.
I don't know. What does two single guys know about having marriage, right?
That's true. Why hear from us, right? We're the most unqualified.
Correct.
What do we know?
Correct. But there are other things which make you a couple that works. You have 9 out of 10 qualities that tick the box.
Correct.
Just that one that doesn't tick. How would you resolve that?
I don't know.
We don't know. We wouldn't have that situation. I think the both of us, if we were in any sort of relationship, I don't think there'd be some sort of sexual issue.
Well, I hope not. I will certainly hope not.
Maybe it's because we've been single too long. It's like, we're gonna go run into the bed sheets. Okay. We went. So that is number 3. I don't know what number was that.
Yeah, that was from number 3.
Okay. So for me, we talked about words of affirmation as number 2. So we've already covered the top 3 for the both of us.
Yes.
No, hang on. The top 3 for me and 2 of your top 2. So your number 3
My number 3 is acts of service.
Acts of service. Okay, let me just read through the description. Acts of service. Can helping with homework really be an expression of love? Absolutely! Anything you do to ease the burden of responsibilities weighing on an acts of service person will speak volumes. The words he or she most wants to hear is, let me do that for you. Laziness, broken commitments, and making more work for them tell speakers of this language their feelings don't matter. When others serve you out of love and not obligation, you feel truly loved and valued.
Yep.
So, my acts of service is second last.
We're both the same for this. We both got a 5.
We both got 5 out of 12, but in terms of ranking...
In terms of ranking, it's different.
Yeah, in terms of ranking, yours is number 3.
Yeah.
Mine is number 4.
Yeah.
I think this really depends, because acts of service, right? I think we've spoken about this. We are both the problem solver type.
Yes, that's correct.
We like to solve things, right? And if that is one of those things where it's my way of showing that I love that person.
Yeah.
I will do stuff for you, and I obviously hope that you appreciate it. Don't take it for granted.
Correct.
But it's not really important for me to do it.
Yeah.
if it's out of obligation.
Correct.
Yeah, it's
Right.
more. I like it when it's more a voluntary
Yes.
thing.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
So I guess it depends on the context.
It does. It does. Like I mentioned, a lot of times it's, especially when you're in what I would coin as ideal relationship is that when it's naturally progressing, right? Or you naturally want to become the better person. And, with that, you naturally want to do things like cook the other person breakfast or cook a meal for the other person. Doing these things which can be considered as acts of service.
So actually, I have one actual example of this that happened to me. Many years ago, I wanted to do LASIK surgery.
Right.
Okay, for my eye, because I have short-sightedness, very bad, and I kept talking about it for like a year, 2 years, or something like that. So one day, my girlfriend at the time, this was while I think we were driving back to her place or something like that. So she was like, "You keep talking about it. Why don't you just go and do it?" It was just that one moment, like a snap of her fingers, her figurative fingers, where she was like, "Why don't you just go and do it?" And straight away in my mind, I was like, "Oh yeah, I should just go and do it." It's just this little thing that pushed me over the edge. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this. So I appreciated it. It might not have been much. It might have been actually words of affirmation. But to me, it was more like, because she knew I wanted to do it. Of course, the fact that she helped me search online where to go and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
she made it easier. She made the process a lot easier, a lot lighter.
She supported my idea of doing it, and she put the stones in place for me to actually to make it easier for me to go for the eventual LASIK surgery. So I really appreciated it, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made, and I have to thank her for it.
Yep, correct.
So this is, and I guess for me that will classify as an act of service.
It does.
Combination of acts of service plus words of affirmation. Yeah, because she did literally all the legwork. Okay, last but not least, in both of us, our category, although with very different scores, okay, is receiving gifts. Okay, receiving gifts. I have mine at 4 out of 12. Yours, a very ridiculous 1 out of 12. I think this particular score has no such thing as a 0. If there was a 0, I think yours would be 0.
I think so too.
Okay, let me just go through what is receiving gifts, okay, in terms of these 5 love languages. Okay, receiving gifts. Don't mistake this love language for materialism. The receiver of gifts thrives on the love, thoughtfulness, and effort behind the gift. If you speak this language, the perfect gift or gesture shows that you are known, you are cared for, and you are prized above whatever was sacrificed to bring the gift to you. A missed birthday or a hasty, thoughtless gift would be disastrous. So would the absence of everyday gestures. Gifts are heartfelt symbols to you of someone else's love and affection for you. Okay.
Correct.
1 out of 12, man. Explain yourself.
Alright.
You don't want free gifts?
Not to say that I don't, but I just generally, I think because of whether it's my upbringing again or whatever it is, because I've got such a high score in the others, that I think just in terms of gifts, it just doesn't mean that much to me. Not saying that it's not an important element in a relationship, but it just doesn't mean that much to me.
So for your birthday, don't give you anything,
I'm
just
fine.
give you a hug.
No, actually I'm fine. Which is
because your quality time and physical touch is like number 10. Yeah.
So let's say I was having a birthday party, right? Everybody came to the party and they didn't bring me gifts. I am completely fine with that. I'm not even joking. So to me, you being there means more than you coming with gifts. But of course, there will be people that is the opposite, right? You come, you don't bring gifts like, hey, what's this?
Yeah.
Which is why like me picking gifts for people is also very hard. Like I do not know what to give people. like I'm just very bad. It's not because I don't think of them, but because how I show and how I perceive is very much different.
So for me, right, receiving gifts is not important. Again, the same thing, like if I was having a birthday, I'd like my friends to be there, show their presence. But I think my score is higher for this because I like a little bit of thought that goes into it.
Yep.
So the whole thinking process shows, number one, how much you know me, or how much you listen to me.
Right.
Okay. So another example, right? Sometimes you receive gifts that you're like thinking, what the fuck is this shit?
You don't know me at all.
Correct. It's like, is this how like you value our friendship? You might as well don't give me anything.
Yeah,
you know,
I get
if
you.
you're gonna give me something stupid, don't give me at all.
Correct.
Yeah?
Correct.
But I like it when they give me something thoughtful.
Yep.
Like if they, so okay, I'm into astrology, I'm into feng shui, bata, and all this shit. If somebody gives me that kind of thing, I'll be like, fuck yeah, I love this shit.
Oh yeah,
you know?
right, for sure.
Because, well, not only does it benefit me, eventually it'll benefit you. Because I'll probably give you a free reading.
That's true.
Let me read your future for you.
But it's something that interests you, right?
Correct.
Which is why it makes so much more.
Yeah. So it's something that interests me. So one of my exes, right? She gave me. So I had this phone, okay, and my phone was. I mean, it was still a good phone, but I knew it was slowly dying.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And my ex was earning more money than me. And I've mentioned this before. She didn't have bills to pay. I mean, she grew up pretty loaded. I didn't. I had bills to pay. At that time, I was still renting, so I had house rent to pay. So I couldn't afford to change my phone just like that. And out of nowhere, literally, it wasn't a birthday or anything. She just bought a phone and then just handed it to me. I was like, "What's this for?" She said, "It's for you." I said, "Why? What?" Then she actually scolded me. She said, "Why can't I buy a gift for you? I'm your girlfriend." Oh, okay.
Ouch.
So-
That's true as well, though.
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
think
yeah.
about it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Because I'm so not used to receiving gifts that when I do receive a gift, I don't know how to react. That's why it's like dead last in my category.
Right.
So like, I love to receive gifts. I just don't expect me to react a certain way because I really don't know how.
Correct. I think it also goes to show, right? Like even with when we're talking about love languages, you know, especially like even just talking about gifts, right? I think that how you perceive and how you show is completely different, or there's
Yes.
diverges or differences, right? Or slight differences.
Depends if you're the giver
Correct.
or the receiver.
Correct. Like if I was the one receiving gifts, I wouldn't perceive it as high value.
Okay.
Right? But let's say if I wanted to show someone that I care, I would buy them the most ridiculous thing ever. Right? I would splurge on this person if it means a lot to them. Right? So I wouldn't mind doing that kind of thing. So not to say that I don't care about it in this kind of category, but it just depends on how I see it or how I give it.
I think in this case, right, for the 5 love languages, it means receiving gifts.
I think it's more towards
So
receiving.
it will more the receiver. That's why yours is so low.
Correct.
And mine's probably just low because I just don't know how to bloody react. I'll be like, thanks.
But yeah, I think it's interesting, you know, if you've got a significant other, boyfriend, or girlfriend, or whatever it is, like, do find out their love language.
Yeah, go and try this, guys. Okay, that's been a very interesting episode of the Single Guys podcast. Do check us out on Instagram at the.singleguys.
Yeah, you can email us at thesingleguys.podcast@gmail.com.
Check us out also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And we are also on YouTube and IGTV.
That's correct.
And with that, we'll wrap up this show. This has been Jason.
And this is Desmond.
And we are out.
Peace.